Lord Balfe, what were you doing at a party celebrating Russia when the host of the party isn't even allowed to be in our parliament?
Well, it was Russia's National Day. All governments have national days in London. I was invited to the party. I've been in Russia and in Ukraine several times. I think we have to stop this war, and we're not going to stop it by shouting at each other.
Well, we're not going to stop it by partying with the Russians when they're waging an illegal war, are we?
I think partying is not exactly the most accurate word for a diplomatic reception.
Well, it was a party. It was a party to celebrate Russia
affair.
Day. Yeah, it was celebrating the creation of a Russian independent of the Soviet Union.
Yeah. Let's not squabble too much, but it was a reception. Everybody was terribly well behaved. Half the Commonwealth was there, which is something the Brits might like to note. But my basic reason for being there is I want to get this war stopped. And the first way of stopping it, we've got to get the Russians to say what they actually want in Ukraine. It's no good running around the place smashing it up. We need to know what they want so that we've got a basis of negotiation.
Well, the truth is they are running around smashing it up, and they clearly want to take Ukraine. Putin, I would say, clearly wants to restore as much of the Soviet Union as he can. But either way, Kellin, the ambassador, gave a speech where he tried to justify the invasion of Ukraine and condemned Britain's confrontational foreign policy. Did you, at that stage, interject and tell him that actually the invasion was illegal and that Britain's foreign policy is not confrontational?
I've already told him that the invasion was certainly unwise and incidentally illegal. But no, you don't interject in situations like this. But I did make it quite clear that I think the Russians need to work out a way of stopping the fighting. And the first bit of that is to be quite clear as to what they want. And it's no good wanting to conquer Ukraine, because all they would do is they would end up with a civil war that would go on and on and on. So we need a much clearer focus. And shouting from the sidelines and arming them, I understand the latest idea is to give them cluster bombs. I don't think that's very smart.
Well, the alternative is that Ukraine's...
Incidentally, I don't represent the Conservative Party.
No, I know you don't.
I sit as a Conservative member.
Sure. No, I understand, but you're there as a Conservative member of the House of Lords. Many people were outraged that you were there hobnobbing with the Russian ambassador given the current situation. It's not an unwise invasion, it's an illegal, barbaric invasion where many tens of thousands of Ukrainians have been slaughtered. And the truth is, if we don't arm them in the way that we've been arming them, many, many more will be slaughtered. I mean, that's pretty self-evident, isn't it?
Well, if we want to run a proxy war in the middle of Europe, where two different sides kill each other mercilessly, go ahead. I'd rather go for peace.
Well, we'd all love peace. We'd all love peace, but
stop.
We'd all love peace, but would you, for example,
the Ukrainians can go back home?
Well, we'd all love that. With respect, Lord Balfe, everybody would love peace. Everyone in Ukraine would love to go back to how things were. Unfortunately, they are having a war waged on them by Vladimir Putin and his murderous army. Now, let me ask you this. Would you have gone to a party, for example, if it was hosted by a Nazi ambassador at the start of World War II?
We don't have a Nazi ambassador.
Well, would you have gone to the German ambassador's residence for a nice party as the Nazis were embarking on their global domination plan?
If I'd have been interested in Germany, like Chamberlain and Rab Butler at the Foreign Office, I would probably have gone to the German embassy up to Czechoslovakia, but not afterwards.
All right, so you have party limits?
Yes.
Good to know. Lord Balfe, thanks for joining me. Kevin.
Good.
I don't think he should be attending
No, of course he
parties
shouldn't have.
with the Russian ambassador. I don't think he should be there saying this invasion was unwise.
No.
And I think he's got this rather quaint idea that so many of them have, who sort of do these kind of things with the Russians, of we all want peace. Well, of course we do. But the Ukrainians haven't started this war.
Yeah. Look, Richard Balfour, Lord Balfour, is a useful idiot. As a propaganda coup for the Kremlin. They can say they have members of the House of Lords, the ruling UK Conservative government, from that party at their reception. Yeah. And we saw one of the latest atrocities, a dozen people, including 3 children, killed in a pizza restaurant, and he's going to somewhere where they're serving food and drink to hobnob with the ambassador. I think he's got a misguided view of his own self-importance if he thinks he's going to have any real role with the Russians. But to say it is unwise, that invasion. I'm sorry, that sounds a little bit to me like an apologetic way to put it. Look, it was an unprovoked aggression against a country that has cost probably now lives more than 100,000 on the two sides. Many more people injured. Ukraine trashed. It's not a proxy war. Look, I'm a peacenik. You probably won't get anyone more opposed to wars than me. But I can see when Ukraine is invaded in this way, you can do nothing but send weapons and support it and hope Putin or somebody at some point will withdraw.
Kevin, good to talk to you.